A lot of people are talking about the new Xiaomi Su 7 Ultra, basically the car that went around the Nürburgring in 7 minutes. It's crazy fast, right? Has nearly about 1,500 horsepower. But for me, it's kind of boring now that this new Zeekr 001 FR is going to get 2,000 horsepower. I drove the version with 1,300 horsepower. I drove that in China last year. It was an incredible car. You'd think, right? It's a big car. Basically a station wagon, heaps of space in there to carry the kids. It's got a big battery pack, a lot of range. You'd think that it would feel like a terrible car to drive around a track, but I'm telling you, it was an amazing car to drive around a track. And now the new version will be lighter and have an additional 700 horsepower. Things are starting to get pretty wild in China. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Reports have just emerged from numerous media sources in China saying the new Zeekr 001 FR, which, to be honest, is probably my favorite car in the world. I've said that quite a lot of times on the channel. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it. It's like dad telling his kids a story over and over and over, and the kid's like, "Dad, we've heard this before. Shut up." Anyway, this is the new version. They're saying they are completely reworking the 001 FR. Then we're going to make it significantly lighter, several hundred kilograms lighter. They're going to give it way more power, so an additional 700 plus horsepower. And this thing is going to be a rocket ship. It looks to me like they might be using the in-wheel motors from the Lotus Evija. The Lotus Evija is Lotus's electric supercar, which has 2,000 horsepower, the same horsepower the new Zeekr 001 FR is going to get. It has, I believe, around 2,000 newton meters of torque and around just over 2,000 horsepower. It's actually the fastest car in the world to get to 300 kilometers an hour. It'll do it in 9 seconds. 9 seconds to 300 kilometers an hour. Guys, considering the fact the existing Zeekr 001 FR can do 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour from a standing start, not from a not rolling along, but standing start. It does it in 2.02 seconds. How much faster will this new version go? It's going to be lighter and have an additional 700 horsepower, maybe even more than that, but it's going to get at least 2,000 horsepower. I don't know, but you're going to want some damn good brakes on this thing. Fortunately, the 001 FR, it comes with some massive carbon ceramic brake discs, and I actually thought the car braked incredibly well. Wasn't scary to drive at all. And you'd think a car with 1,300 horsepower, and I'm talking instant power, not power you've got to get in the right rev range to get the power, but just instant, relentless power. You'd think it would be scary, but actually it wasn't, because the car has really good flat handling, really, really good all-wheel drive traction. When I drove it, the track was a little bit damp, but ultimately it didn't scare me at all. Whereas some other EVs that I've driven have really scared me. I'm being like, well, this thing's maybe too much power. This didn't feel that way. So the new version, here are some of the details from Car News China and from Meta Auto and Hanlu, both well-known Chinese media sources. They are saying it's going to exceed 2,000 horsepower, and it's going to need a complete recalibration of its body. Its brakes are going to need to be better as well, and it's going to need new tires. Plus, it's going to be getting a weight reduction diet. The existing version that was released in October of 2023, it costs 107,000 US dollars. Will the new version be more expensive than that? I'm going to guess so, but I still think it's actually a bargain. What other cars can you get with this kind of performance that you can take your family in for the weekend, right? Take your stuff in the boot. You know, it's got a legitimately proper, good-sized interior space. Practical size car. Xiaomi's SU7, really cool looking car, really fast, but it's really not a practical car. I mean, sedans are just not really family cars. It'd be a fun car to own, but this would be a proper car. You could just have it as a daily driver. I mean, I know this sounds wild. The 001 FR though, the existing model, it uses a 100 kilowatt hour NMC battery from Cadel, and it also has track level braking. It's got AP Racing 10 piston brake calipers on the front, and 4-piston brake calipers in the rear. The carbon ceramics, as I said before, it's got an actual lightweight carbon fiber aerodynamic body kit. The carbon fiber body kit does look kind of cool, I've got to say. And it has lateral G-force of 1.4 Gs. In addition, it comes with R22 GTR2 motorsport tires from Giddy Motorsport. And they're pretty big for an EV, 265/40s on the front, 295s on the rear. So 295 wide rubber for an all-wheel drive car. That's a lot of tire. Now, it also has one cool feature. It's got a Kimi Räikkönen mode, right? Kimi Räikkönen has tested this car and he's basically worked on it with the Zeekr team. And the Räikkönen mode actually increases the power of the car from its standard power, which is about 1,250 horsepower, up to 1,300 horsepower. And what's the new version going to have? What are they going to call the new mode? Maybe they can call it the Max Verstappen mode or something like that. I'm not sure, but either way, it's going to be unreal. Getting back to that battery pack, guys, it's a 100 kilowatt hour ternary battery from Cadel. It's the chill-in battery, which has very, very high energy density, and it should get a range in the real world, probably around about 450 kilometers WLTP, because it's got CL2C range of 550 kilometers. The range is, obviously smaller than you'd expect, and the reason is because it's a proper performance car. Using this kind of power, driving with this kind of power, it obviously is going to, sap your battery quickly. Speaking of battery and charging speeds, though, charging is really, really fast. It charges from 10 to 80% in 15 minutes. And I think they're going to upgrade that to 12 minutes. So it's going to have incredibly fast charging. Meaning, if you did use it as a race car, it wouldn't take you that long to recharge the battery pack. How big is this? It's actually a fairly big car. 5 meters long, it's 5,018 millimeters, 2 meters wide, and 1.5 meters tall. Fairly longish, wide. It's I think the best looking car that I've personally seen. A lot of people say that. A lot of people, when they go to China, you'll be on a bus with other journos, and they'll say, "Man, look at those 001s. They're looking sensational." And interestingly, the Zeekr 001 was the fastest car in the history of China to sell 150,000. Not the performance version, just the regular version. Of course, there's now other cars that are getting huge numbers of orders as well, but it's been immensely popular. And a big part of the reason is just the cool look of the car. It's got the practicality in a lot of ways of, a station wagon, but it doesn't look like one. It kind of looks like a cross between an SUV and a station wagon. It's just whoever designed this thing did a phenomenal job. In the inside, it has a 15.4-inch touchscreen and an 8.8-inch instrument panel. Both are using Snapdragon Qualcomm's chips, and navigation comes from Zeekr's pilot system. So it's clearly Zeekr is saying, you know what, Xiaomi, we're going to one-up you. We're going to increase our power over you by 500 horsepower. And I reckon there's a good chance Zeekr will take this to the Nürburgring, which is going to be awesome. Imagine if this thing beats something like a Porsche 911 GT3 around the Nürburgring. It's very possible it could. This kind of power, this kind of dedication to performance as well. Because remember the Zeekr team, the guys who are behind Zeekr, some of these guys are literal race car drivers. I've met them. I've driven around the track with them. One of them, his name's Ray, and he actually holds the world record for the longest drift in history on ice. He's an amazing driver, and these are the kind of guys they're actually getting to test these cars, to develop these cars, to work on these cars. So they're proper performance cars. It's going to be awesome to see this. I don't hold out hope for these coming to Australia, but wouldn't it be amazing if they did? What do you think, guys? Let me know what your thoughts are. Bye-bye.